It's July 18th, 2013. And I'm heading out to work. Yesterday evening, we visited the Mormon Church History Museum. And when we entered, this guy ran up to me and he said, well, hey, there's people coming through who were going on the Pioneer Trek. And they're going to be coming through in groups. And anyway, I was sort of going the opposite direction of the normal flow. But we made it through that little loop before the kids came through. And this Pioneer Trek thing is basically where they take Mormon kids up into the mountains here, and they have them dress up in old style clothes, and they you can't have any modern conveniences at all. No watches. No special things. No shampoo. Anyway, no phones, no cell phones, or other gadgets. Okay, so anyway, I did that, and I think the highlight of my experience with that was, well, let's see. I remember on the first night, the highlights. On the first night, we walked all day and all night, and at night I started to hallucinate a little bit because we were walking into like 4 a.m. in the morning. And that's what happens when you stay up all day and then all night. Anyway, that was interesting. And then the other thing that happened was, it was a very pretty hike, I'll say that. But the other thing that happened was I was trying to explain to a leader about how there were organisms in the water, why I was concerned about drinking the water. And so everybody drank out of a shared water thing with a shared cup. And it looked to me like there were kind of some foreign little things in there. So I was trying to say the word organism. And instead I said the word orgasm. Oh my God, I said orgasm while at a Mormon event. Orgasm, orgasm, orgasm. And so I just said it once. And so anyway, that gave the guy a chuckle. So anyway, so that was the highlight of my Mormon Pioneer Trek experience, saying the word orgasm instead of organism. Okay. So this group of kids were going through the Mormon Church History Museum, but we did let my son, whose nickname is Mr. Beeb, walk around or crawl around the children's area, and they have some gold plates there. And so we let him touch the gold plates. And I explained to Yanning that Joseph Smith thought that the people in the Book of Mormon came from Israel, and yet DNA and archaeological evidence shows that they came from Asia, right? So but inside this so-called museum for the Mormon Church, they had, in this children's area, they had pictures of Joseph Smith teaching the Indian people, and then they had other things where they showed Jesus coming to the Indians. Hey, if you're an American Indian person, did you know Jesus came to your ancestors? Yeah, after Jesus died, he came and visited your ancestors. Okay, that's according to Joseph Smith, all right? Anyway, I was also showing my wife a bit about the Mormon temple, and she was curious about the baptismal font. And I explained to her that in the Mormon temples, they help people who are dead join the Mormon church. And I told my wife that, hey, we could get the names of your ancestors and give them to the Mormon church, and then they could join the Mormon church now that they're dead. And my wife was very surprised to hear that. I mean, who'd have thunk that we could have my wife's ancestors join the Mormon church? Okay? And hopefully, I was thinking, if that happens and up in heaven there might be Spencer Kimball, and he could tell, well, after they join the Mormon church, he could advise my wife's ancestors about the need to abstain from oral sex. Yeah, Spencer Kimball, I'm sure, is spending a lot of time in the Mormon spirit world advising people about the dangers of oral sex. Okay? Don't have too much fun in sex. Danger. You might decide that you have no need of the stupid Mormon God. Huh? That's another reason why Mormons are so concerned about masturbation. Huh? So anyway, other than that, I heard on a public radio show, I think called On Point, I heard a voice that is really quite annoying. And at first I thought it was Dinesh D'Souza, but then I realized that no, the anally retentive, pedantic voice I am hearing now is that of Reza Aslan. Reza Aslan, who has engaged in debates with Sam Harris in the past, and Reza Aslan becomes very upset when he hears the name Sam Harris. Very upset. But people on the ultra-liberal left and Unitarian Universalists and the people who operate NPR, they love Reza Aslan. He has helped them learn about how Muhammad was such a great guy. And when Muhammad married a 6-year-old and had sex with her at 9, well, that was just how they did things back then. Muhammad, so egalitarian, when he told people, convert or die. Convert or die. That's what Muhammad said. And Reza Aslan wants us to believe that, hey, no problem. That was just how they did things back then. And Muhammad was a very peaceful man. And he was just a man of his time. He was a freedom fighter. Oh, so noble, the Muhammad guy.
That's what I think, as my name is Reza Aslan. Yeah. And I think I like Mohammed very much, and I want you to like him too. Okay? Even though he consummated his marriage with his wife when she was 9, and also he killed a lot of people. He said, "Convert or die." But that doesn't matter because that's just how they did things back then. Yeah, no problem.
So that's the basic position of Reza Aslan on Muhammad. And so now Mr. Aslan has written this book about he's written this book about Jesus. Jesus. He wrote about Jesus. And his book is called Zealot, The Life and Times of Jesus of Nazareth by Reza Aslan. And so I think the person who's really the zealot here is probably Reza Aslan. But Reza Aslan is, from what I can tell, this book is essentially to kind of portray Jesus just like Reza views Muhammad. A freedom fighter, fighting against oppression. Oh my goodness, Jesus was fighting those bad Romans and those bad Jewish leaders. Oh my goodness, and he died. But if you realize Reza is claiming a lot of things happened, which there's no evidence for. Okay? Yeah, maybe Jesus existed, but check out Life of Brian, and you'll see that there were many Jesuses. I mean, who's to say Jesus wasn't just some other Jesus, and the third Jesus, and the fifth Jesus, and Jesus? We don't know which Jesus is the real Jesus. And so, there's this book. Yes, I realize that people like Bart Ehrman claim there may have been a historical Jesus, but there were many Jesuses, so we can say, well, hey, maybe there was Jesus because there was many Jesuses back then. Okay. So how do we know if your Jesus existed? But there's this book called Nailed. It's basically a book that's called Nailed. 10 Christian Myths That Show Jesus Never Existed. And I think the guy's last name is Fitzgerald on that one, but you can look for the title. Nailed. 10 Christian Myths That Show Jesus Never Existed. So you can check that out. But even if Jesus existed, and even if he was a freedom fighter against the oppressors, just like Muhammad was when he had sex with a 9-year-old. Yeah, these are serious things, huh? Yeah, so anyway, whether it's your pedophile prophet or your freedom fighter Jesus, or your hippie Jesus who, didn't tell anybody that they had to go to hell like he did, then you're just making, either somewhat historical figures like Muhammad or most likely mythical people like Jesus into whatever you think they should be instead of what they actually were. And anyway, even if there was a Jesus, well, and even if he didn't like the Roman rule, so what? Doesn't mean he was the son of your God, or that he died for your sins, or that you need to kiss the ass of a Mormon bishop or of a Catholic priest to be forgiven for your sins. That's the bottom line. Okay. So it's too bad that NPR and some other public radio outlets have glommed onto Reza Aslan again. That's rather unfortunate. Reza Aslan can wave his hands and say, "Ooh, liberal stuff, a liberal Mohammed peaceful. Wave my hand in front of the camera, Mohammed peaceful, Mohammed peaceful, Mohammed peaceful." Now you'll think Mohammed peaceful. Mohammed not peaceful, though. So anyway, that's that.